Whenever you're ready.
All right, my name is Steve Kane. I'm the head advisor at Kennemer Middle School in Duncanville ISD. I just want to talk about the importance of the state conference to my kids, but just not my kids. I think all the kids in South Dallas and Oak Cliff and Duncanville. This program has literally grown from 8 students 3 years ago to now in the district we have over 200.
Father endangered the life of his child. This man let a carpenter lead him astray from common knowledge. He was reckless in his choices and he abused his parental rights. As a state, today we will prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that this defendant caused the death of Emily Colson. We ask that you will listen carefully to our 3 witnesses. First, listen to the medical examiner, Dr. Joshua Sapp, who examined the body of Emily Colson. He'll testify how there were symptoms that simply could not have gone unnoticed, and how this child had to suffer in her illness. These symptoms did not go unnoticed, because the victim's mother, the victim's school teacher, Kate Riley, noticed these symptoms. And she felt bad for the child and sent notes home and called the father. She did not try to notify him once or twice, but several times in a desperate plea. And finally, we'll hear from Detective Sergeant Emily Hodges, who reviewed all the evidence and will tell you that the evidence shows that the defendant saw all the symptoms and signs, and that he knew his daughter was sick, but yet still omitted any medical care.
Why that is because we go to each campus and we explain to them about how great the experience is going to be, about going to this hotel and being able to dress up and just make it an experience that they'll never forget. And that's one of those things that these kids don't have that. These kids aren't used to, dressing up, or, half the time they don't even leave, Oak Cliff or South Dallas. And now we're taking them in charter buses, to Austin. They're standing on the same Capitol floor that, presidents have, been on. And, it's one of those things that it gives them a voice.
In your penalty, fine, and that'll be $100 and you're breaking every semester that you can score. Do you feel that is enough?
It states that it requires the students to take this course. If the parents don't allow the student to take this course, is there any way that the student can earn other,
it might start out as a fun field trip or an experience that they want to do, but then they realize at the end of it, I have a voice. And with that voice, they can overcome things in their community. Maybe they overcome, that parent abusing them or beating them, or being in that situation where they don't feel like they can succeed. Now, after going to the state conference, right, they know they can do it, right? They can have that voice. They can stand up for what's right.
We will bring forth evidence of the testimony of Diane Reagan, who will show that Don Colson is a religious man and has been a part of this church for several years and truly holds in his heart compassions that are taught at this church. Next, you will hear from Reverend Shorty McGee that faith healing is an established practice in the state of Texas. And next, you will hear from Don Colson, father himself, and how he took many actions to heal his daughter through his faith. And Don Colson is simply a man doing the best he can with all he has. Thank you, Your Honor.
Decriminalizing marijuana possession would bring these numbers way down, would keep people for a relatively minor crime out of jails and prisons. Also, to take marijuana and put it in the hands of the state, we would gain revenue. The total revenue brought in by Colorado, which we're basing our amendment off of, in just September of 2015, which was the most recent month, is around $20 million for marijuana tax and license cash fund transfer.
And that's what the state conference and what the program Youth in Government does to these youth in government kids. It's not just something that, oh, okay, when they get to high school they can do it. No, they build at 6th grade and go 7th grade, 8th grade, and they get stronger to now when they're in high school, right, they can flourish. Kind of like my example here with Sharif. He started out as an 8th grader doing a youth in government. In his first year as a freshman, he went to Council on National Affairs and actually won Best Proposal.
Like, you could tell, like, you were trying to incorporate the thing.
You incorporated the facts of the case, and you did it without looking at notes, really. We're really subtle looking. Sarah, I can't really think of anything you did wrong except you forgot a little bit of your
Yeah, that kind of.
But you didn't get impeached. You handled them really well and cross like a kid would, but you still made it really difficult for her, and she didn't really envy any of your direct. Your
Exactly. So we'll kind of split it right here.
You want a beef sandwich here, chicken there.
Sorry. Okay, yeah, sure, of course. Are y'all high school? Yeah. Okay, so Model UN essentially is like debate. It's really similar to legislative, sort of as like the whole debate thing, but the thing that sets it apart is the country stance. So you don't debate as yourself, you debate as another country. For instance, right now we're debating the Yemen situation, and the US is having lots of problems with Russia and with China because we can't agree on what we can call the situation in Yemen, right? So you get to research the country, you get a debate from the stance of the country, and you get a debate with other people from the stance of the country. So it's a very, I guess, quote unquote, not interpersonal debate, but it's a very technical and very research-heavy debate. And so what makes it fun is the back-to-back dialogue that we can have. So we have lots of sort of like downtime where we talk amongst a group, and that's where all the fun comes in because lots of shots are fired.
So they're just going to observe. So can we just, if you guys don't mind, we'll just start with the speakers list and then we can have a 20-minute recess before that because I need to know how the whole thing is run. Is that okay?
Do we not have recess?
We'll have it later because they're here to...
Lots of insults are thrown, but because it's not an interpersonal, I guess, a personal sort of like fire shots, I guess, it's fun and it's really interesting. So yeah, do you have any questions?
These are the kids you're helping. This kid right here, right, 3 years ago had no voice. Now he can stand and represent the state of Texas and represent the United States, right, and win best proposal at Kona. This is what it's about. You're not hurting me, you're not hurting, other, advisors, you're hurting the kids. And at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for kids. And not having a state conference or eliminating the sixth graders from the conference, that's hurting the kids. It's hurting the program, right? You won't be able to grow your program. For me, for example, I started out with 18 kids at a 7th and 8th grade campus and went down to the 6th grade campus and said, guess what, guys? You guys can have this too. You can go to this cool hotel. You can dress up. You can be a part of the program. You can have a voice. And within 1 year, I went from 0 6th graders to now I have over 80 in the program. That's what it's about. And I can't just go and tell these kids now, hey, all those things I said, all those promises I made, guess what? They're not true, right? Guys, that's what they're used to hearing. They're used to hearing promises, right, that never come true, okay? That's not what this is about. It's about giving these kids a voice and giving them a hope and giving them a dream that they can accomplish, right, to make, things happen in their life, right? It starts here, it starts in 6th grade, goes to 7th grade, right? And next thing you know, people like Sharif, right, will be in charge, right? They'll be the next senator, the next congressman, the next, board member of the Y, okay? It's for these kids, right? That's what it's about.